The kick drum is such an important element in heavy music, and in this clip, Machine takes us through some simple but often overlooked ways to spice up your kick drum mixing. He goes into detail about the importance of panning and pitching double kick parts to add separation and create a drum sound with more feeling. Check it out and enjoy.
All right, so kicks, very clever, and you'll see just how and why this is so clever. Yes, it's all samples, but they're in 3 tracks. And the main is like, what would be the main rock kick, like of a basic beat, right? And then when it goes to do what would be double kicks, they get split up on the what would then turn into left and right foot. And I program this way for a very smart reason. That translates to mixing power, like what I want them to achieve in the mix. The advantages of choosing like, oh, we're going to just use a kick sample. Well, I don't want that to sound sterile. So now it goes into the art of programming humanism into the kick sample. And I get that. Another reason I split them on other tracks, I do different things, little different things with them. Pitch things, EQ things, and believe it or not, subtle pan things. You wouldn't think to pan kicks, but there's a lot of good reason to do that. So that's why there's 3. There's one kick sample. Love that. It's a pillowy kick sample I made in Ocean Way Studio. It's one of the thickest drum sessions I ever had back in the day. All right, here's our little kick menu. Piece of cake. So I see that there's like this like kind of bump in like 80-90, which can kind of woof out the mix, lowering that a little bit but bringing up some like very much low end in that. Now you'll see when I get to the double kicks, I probably won't do that because when the double kick's going super fast and all that sub builds up, that's just going to woof out your mix. And if you're doing a lot of sub compression, it's going to really fuck that. And that's what I'm big into. So again, another smart reason, if you're working with MIDI kicks, separate these. Or let's say it was 2 kick drums. Not a lot of people do it these days, but you could, when the double kicks happen, you could cut that audio, separate to a different track and apply different EQ to those, right? Smart. One of my beloved favorite compression for kick drum is this 160, DBX 160. Remember what we learned about makeup gain, putting that. So when I bypass and unbypass, I really don't get fooled by the volume thing. Cool. Not a ton of compression, just putting a nice little shape on it, which I like. And now quickly, we didn't have rooms recorded on this production and we didn't have a room sample. So I'm just going to find like a little reverb that works for this. And that's not the one. Let's go to small little rooms and find something that's dope. And I'm listening solo. I shouldn't be listening solo. You should have stopped me, Eyal. That's not right. I should be listening to the character of this decay in the mix.
I mean, if you want to listen in solo, that's your right.
Yeah, that's some bullshit, right? I'm a hypocrite right now. Realistic room sounds pretty cool. Cool. I'll start to just copy those to the other two kicks for now. There'll be a great conversation about what we're going to do with these kicks in the end, but I want to get these out of the way, and I want to get to the summing. Cool. Let's get these cymbals rocking. Let's look at kick as this relates to this. This is the real magic. The kick is how this whole concept even started for me. I'm going to mute with double kicks, and I'm just going to do the main rock kick, which is the heavy thing. So on that main sparser, groovy kick thing, I want it to move. I want it to some degree move the inside bus. Let's look at it. Right? If I could hear what's happening with those guitars, every time that kick and snare hits and I see that meter bounce, those guitars are being instantly ducked in volume. I love where it sits with the snare. It might be too much for the main kick. So I just want to split the difference and get a portion of it on the total outsides and enough moving the guitars so it's musical, just not too much. And I'm going to look and listen. Let's mute the snare so I'm not even looking at the snare. So what I'll do is I'll move some of that to bus 32. That's the total outside. It's going to get louder, but I'll lower the fader, which of course is now that portion that's going to the total insides being lowered. So it's dancing where it's ducking the guitars down. So every time I see that go to -2, I'm saying to myself, that's ducking the guitars and those constant elements down -2. And look at where snare. Snare is like a quick 4, right? Let me raise the release so you can see it not move so fast. No, it's even like a 5. It's just so quick, that you don't know. But this is how everything is so in your face. This is the sound of fucking rock. This is what it's about. Fuck yeah. Now, what's going on here? Do you hear how those things are just going to the guitar sound?
Yep.
The guitar sound is like, that's not a doable thing. If we were to look at that, the guitars are just kind of falling apart. And we want to get a good picture on the guitars. So these double kicks, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do with these? Going to move them to the total outsides. They don't even have to be involved. They could be fractionally involved. They didn't have to be involved at all. They can just be moved to the total outsides. So now, if they're moved to the total outsides, let's just fully take them. Okay, my kick bus is going to inside. I want to reverse that. My main kick bus, I want it to go to the outside. I'll get back to this in a minute. Now, there's my, right here, here's my double kicks. They are 100% not involved in the sum compression. They have nothing to do with it. See what I'm starting to do here? I'm starting to think about this, like how the track, how the production is moving, dancing. It's a corny word, but yeah, how it's dancing and how I'm going to make that work creatively. So let me fix the main kick now. Which the main kick, I want to do the opposite. I want to put some of that into the inside. See how things are starting to pump in a really cool musical way? And dude, not for nothing, here's a blast beat part. You can really hear those guitars. You can hear the double kicks on the guitars. There's a lot of heavy shit, fellas. A lot of metalcore, a lot of heavy shit. It's like there's these blasty parts and the guitar, the definition in the notes on the guitars just goes like out the door.
Yeah, it's just a mud mess.
Not having that. Don't need that, dude. Total outsides, bro. What's up? You don't need that. These double kick things, these really much concern me. Couple things I'm going to want to do with these. All right. I just copied. I just did the main kick and I just copied the channel strip over to these doubles. Like, let's take some of the sub off them a little bit. So when they go, that doesn't just add up and add up. Here's this one. Take the reverb off for a second. I'm doing a little bit here, but because when those add up, copy that over to here. That'll be better. And where we wanted more ambience on the main kick. I'll also shorten and reduce the ambience on the double kicks. So they're not dry, they're just a little drier. Good. Oh, are you fucking hearing what's going on, dude? I hear this pumping. I was on the phone with Nick the other day, and we were testing this for this. He's like, your shit's pumping. I'm like, yes, this is what you get. You can do the pump and without the danger. You can do the pump without the danger because when things are a problem, you move them to the outsides.
Sounds awesome. I love how aggressive it is.
Hello. Pumping, son. Again, I have this theory about not leaving too many things mono, right? We discussed that once a long time ago, Eyal. I even with the double kicks, look at this. Even with the double kicks, guys, they're slightly pan left and right, and they're different pitches. Do. 1, 2. 1, 2. So if it was and it was mono, well, what would be happening? For mono to happen, these two speakers, that's all we have, two speakers, and they only go in and out. For them to be mono, they'd have to be acting exactly the same. That's mono. They have to be doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. That's mono. So if you have all this energy and all this busyness in the mono, it's taking up all this energy in the room, these speakers. If it needs to tell you I'm stereo, guitars, I need to be stereo, I need to be independent, that's what guitars are. And all the energy is being focused on, I have to produce all these kick drums going mono. It's going to smother. Just the physics of it. It's going to smother their guitars out. So again, little subtle things that don't make it sound left and right, but slightly throw off the left from the right. Pitch, subtle pans. It's opening up breathing room, like for the physics of the actual speaker to let what is stereo appear through. We did a test on that. Remember on once a long time ago with Lamb of God on the pan kicks, the guitars, Eyal?
Yeah, I do.
And it was like, it's incredible the difference.
It really is.
The pitch and subtle pans, it's just breaking the mono subtly. So anyway, there's the spiel on that. I hope that connects with somebody because it makes a lot of fucking sense.
I think it does.